If you're going to get cross about the any questions in the Year 13 2018 mock paper, I think it would be question 9, which I think is not a great question. And I forgive the people that got, excuse me, crab, I got confused by thinking this was an equilibrium question or required really any knowledge about the industrial production of methanol from methane, which it isn't. What it is a pretty simple question about can you interpret the information given by two graphs. And so it says here, deduce the optimum conditions for the industrial conversion of methane and steam into the gaseous products. So you're given two graphs, and really, so you're being asked to comment on conditions temperature and conditions pressure. So all your information is going to be based on these graphs. And what we can see, what you can note is that as temperature increases, well, first of all, sorry, I'll jump in ahead. What I tend to do with questions like this is to go, right, I'm going to consider temperature first. I'm going to talk about temperature. So let's look at figure 1, temperature. We can see that the general trend is as temperature increases, yield increases. From 600 to 900, temperature increases. However, we can also say that at around about, well, what is that? That's 800. So around about here, so 830, the rate of increase in percentage conversion with temperature starts to fall away, and the increase in yield for every degree C hotter starts to decline. So given that temperature is an expensive condition to maintain, it would seem to me the optimum temperature to carry out this reaction would be about 830, between 800 and 830. I'm getting a high yield, but not the highest, but then for the extra 70 degrees and the money that would cost, the increase in yield would be marginal. Words to that effect. So that's pretty much covered temperature off. For pressure, well, we can say the opposite is true. As pressure increases, we get a general decline in percentage conversion. So at 1000 kPa, we're at 80, but at 5000, we're at, what's that, 50% conversion. So on the face of it, it would seem that the 1000 kPa is the optimum condition. That gives me the greatest. Conversion. When we can also say that pressure is also another expensive condition to maintain, although these are actually rather low pressures. So that would seem to be the ideal. The trick here, to access the 5th and 6th mark, however, is to understand that at low pressures we might have it might take a long time to actually reach equilibrium. While we've got a high percentage conversion, that's not the same to say that's the same as the time it takes to reach equilibrium. So to access the 5th and 6th mark, what the mark scheme's asking you to slow is what the mark scheme's asking you to say is it might be necessary to increase the pressure above the optimum, which is 1000, say to 2000, to ensure that the speed of reaching equilibrium is a reasonable and economic one. There's loads of space to answer that question. I really don't think it's necessary. I think it's a terrible 6-mark question. I don't think there's enough there to really warrant 6 marks, and I think that that speed criteria for pressure is given that it's at 800 degrees C, I think it's a stretch. I don't know enough about manufacturing conditions to really comment fully on it, but what I am saying is I forgive everyone that got up to 4 marks and no more on question 9.